right, here we are. Welcome to another Woods Report. Okay, here we go.
Make sure.
What?
There's been comment about me touching my bun.
Oh, yeah,
I use this as a mirror, just so you know, whoever made that comment.
Somebody actually
I touch my bun a lot.
Somebody actually made a comment in the comment section that they overheard fixing her bun all the time. I told you people make comments all the time.
Everything.
Yeah. And I normally don't tell you the comments.
I can see if I dug in my nose.
Yeah, I don't tell you the comments. But I just told you that one just because I thought it was funny.
I touched my hair to fix it.
All right, here we go. All right, Love and Marriage D.C. Season 1, Episode 5. Okay? So we start off, remember they left off with Monique and Chris having an issue, and now Chris saying you might as well turn the cameras off because Monique is mad and she don't want to talk.
I felt bad. Bad.
So Mo is done with the scene and she's upset. The producers are sitting down. They're trying to scramble to get them back on, and they crack me up with that drama.
I know.
So they're trying to get them back
on.
Right.
You really need to bring you and your little headset in there and go.
So they finally talk Chris back into going into the living room with Mo, and they finally talk Mo into having a conversation with him.
Mo? When you start calling her Mo?
I think he calls her Mo.
Does he?
Yeah, I think he says Mo. Plus, I've been so hard on Rhino Head, Monique, that I want to say Mo different.
Okay.
So they don't think I'm talking about Monique.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mo.
Okay. Mo.
So, okay, so then Chris comes back and he finishes the scene. He says he feels like, or she says she feels like they're off balance. One of them felt like they off balance. The marriage is off balance. This thing is...
The signal be out a lot.
Yeah, it's going to go in and out. So...
Broadcast is waiting. It should resume shortly.
I don't know if we should... It's back on now. But I don't know if we should change where you at right here?
Oh, am I on what you call it?
Maybe that's it. Oh, we figured maybe that's it.
Let's see.
When the phones are on too, it's like it's pulling too much of that Wi-Fi. So let's see what happens now.
We still need some help.
This drives me. This drives me crazy.
Okay.
But anyway, so basically he was saying that they're off balance and men are not emotional. They don't know how to show their emotions.
He was keeping it real because there are a lot of men who don't go like deep how I feel. This is how I feel.
Well, no, he was saying...
I think he was giving a very good example that he's trying, kind of like meet me halfway kind of thing. Like, baby, I just want you to know I am trying my best.
Yeah.
And hopefully I know what you want and I want to give you what you want. But it's almost like he's saying kind of be patient with me. And so
he was saying, too, that men think that providing for the family and coming home and not, cheating and all of that, that's doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And she's saying that's good, but she wants you to be able to connect emotionally, too. So he pretty much was saying, which I'll try. We'll see, let's keep working at this.
But it should be off of the TV as
right.
well.
So then we go to another guy who's totally the opposite, and that's Jamie. Jamie is like Neanderthal.
Oh,
He's a Neanderthal.
Yeah, but he has the right wife for that.
So because Raina don't care. Raina just kind of
bump heads with Ashley.
Yeah, he would bump heads with Monique.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
buddy.
so
buddy.
we go to Jamie, and his daughter Brittany calls him over to the house to help her put her stand or something together.
Well, as an excuse.
As an excuse to get him over there and kind of blindside him and talk about how she didn't like how he treated Jason.
Yeah, I figured she would want to talk to him about that.
When they was at the family dinner. So then they go on and she says, you didn't really listen to Jason, that Jason is the son that's visually impaired. And she said you didn't really listen to him when he told you he didn't want to be a DJ.
Right.
That he wants to go into computers and do what he wants.
He has other ideals for what he wants to do. He didn't want to be a DJ.
So then Jamie was like, well, I just want the best for y'all and all this. She said, well, somebody needs to check you. And I thought of Sheree when he said, because he said, who gonna check me?
Who gonna check you, boo?
He didn't say boo, but he said, who gonna check me? And she said, me. I'm going to check you.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, I'll check you.
Yeah.
So then he was like, I'm fine if my kids, whatever.
I'm glad she added that line in there.
Respectfully.
Because as his daughter, I mean, you want to give your parent respect, but also let them know, can we be really honest and be transparent with you, Dad or Mom, if we don't feel or agree with you?
Right.
She was pretty much saying
so basically, yes. So she would say, I was checking you respectfully. And so he was like, I don't mind if my kids check me as long as it's respectfully. But he said, I still
tell them as my kids.
Right. He said, I understand I need to listen more.
Yeah.
But we know that's just him talking. He don't know how to listen.
But then a parent would know, too, how you are as a parent. Those of you, even when they're older, you still want to give them some direction and tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Because you think they still may not, they be clueless on some stuff.
Right.
You like,
but he tells everybody what to do.
Yeah. That's his personality.
Yeah. So then we go to Mo. Mo has lunch with Winter. And this is where it all goes down, with Winter telling Mo her side of the story of what happened when all the girls got together and Mo was in Africa.
Right.
So she pretty much tells her that Ashley and Irena were rude to her.
They ambushed her.
She said that's when she brought out DJ FUNSIZE.
You know what?
And she called him DJ FUNSIZE.
That was not nice.
And
what's she talking about that?
Because Ashley's husband is short.
What you say? She is not the height that I normally.
No, and she said, "Don't nobody want him." If Ashley thinks that I want him, and she said, "And don't nobody want your husband either, Raina, the Mister sleeping in the car at the stoplight. Nobody wants him either." So she was basically telling
pretty
her,
much saying, "I have messed up husbands. You guys.
I have messed up husbands, and you guys
Mine
do
too." He cheats. What is it?
He's an embezzler or whatever. He cheats people. And the first one had 2 kids on her.
But you know what? Nobody says anything about Mo's husband.
Because he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
So,
not to say the other ones are not, but...
And they could say something, but they there because of Monique. They not going to say nothing about that. They on this show
I don't even know what
Monique.
dirt they would have on Chris.
He probably has some for being a football player.
He just seems really like a nice guy.
So anyway, she says that nobody wants DJ FUNSIZE. He's too short, and she normally dates men taller than that. She was just cracking all on Ashley. And then in Monique's diary, she said... Ooh, she better leave Ashley not play about her husband, DJ Quick.
Yes.
So we know this ain't gonna end well.
You're not gonna want a fun size of security man.
Right. She said you're gonna need a full size security man when Ashley hear about you talking about her husband. So then she says Irena plays both sides. And
we kind of caught that too,
yeah.
didn't we?
She says there's rumors about DJ Quick cheating on Ashley.
Okay.
And she said, but she don't care. It's not her husband. She don't care.
Okay.
But they seem to be all involved in her husband. I'm going to talk about that later.
Okay.
All right. So now we go to the Spoil of the Blind. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And they go to family.
That was a very good
segment.
Project and what you call it that they did?
Yeah, I was getting ready to talk. People, you always talking over her. So that's why I
wanted her to get when I think of something real quick, I gotta say it real quick because she'll start talking and I forget.
I'm gonna start drinking like if I want to talk or something over you. I'm gonna start doing this,
like the lady on Seinfeld.
Oh yeah. Okay, so. But I can't promise it's going to get better.
Okay.
Because sometimes she'll keep going. I'll be like, be quiet.
Okay.
I don't want to say something.
I want to say my point. That's how we talk. You know what? This is the cool way of how we talk. We usually is worse than this. I want to get my point. Well, I'm going to let you keep talking because you're not listening
I'm trying to be nice because people keep saying they want to hear
an audience now. That's why.
See, if we was just in our house talking normal, I don't care. I want you going to listen to me. No, you're going to listen to me.
But no, I got something to say too. It's
more
important than yours. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
All right, whatever. Okay, so they go to the School of the Blind. So they decide to play Jamie and his family. Jamie and Irena's family. I think it was called Go Ball or something like that. And it's a sport that blind people play.
And you put your blindfold.
You have to wear blindfolds
in the environment
so you can't see at all. Yes. And it's like soccer, but you got to get down on the ground and you have to roll the ball.
It seems like it's like dodgeball.
No, it's soccer because you got to get it in the net. So you have to roll the ball.
Oh, because you're not trying
to get them. And they hear, and you hear. I don't know how you got dodgeball.
You know what?
Already.
It was
dodgeball is when you throw the ball at somebody.
I know you're purposely trying to hit them, but I think you're trying. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. When you're trying to get it in past the goalie.
Yes, you're trying to get into the net,
and they have to block it.
Where you get dodgeball from?
I don't know, because I thought at first that they had to try to hit them.
No,
but they're not. Because they was catch, the other team was
you
catching
trying to
them.
stop them from getting the ball in the goal.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't understanding the game.
So if you was there playing with,
well, remember I be blindfolded.
You be trying to throw the ball at all the. You be trying to throw the ball at the blind people.
I would be trying to throw the ball, but I would probably have to.
You be playing dodge. You be playing dodge.
Hit them.
You be playing dodgeball, and everybody else playing soccer. You be throwing.
I remember dodgeball.
Wait a minute. How you gonna play dodgeball with blind people?
Where you at? You gotta hear them. I get it now.
You gotta be
because if the ball is got the bell, the little bell sound, you hear it coming.
How you
block it, right?
Wait a minute. Can somebody comment down below? How you play dodgeball with blind people?
You know what? I don't know.
Oh my God!
But if you done the same way with the ball, I don't know.
How would you play? How would you know who to throw it to if you're blind too?
You're just throwing it forward.
Yeah, but how you gonna see who to throw it at?
That's wrong. No, we're not teasing blind folks.
Oh
my dad
God.
is visually impaired.
Oh
I think my dad sees shadows.
Okay, so here we go.
Because he even made comments about, Kim's kind of gained weight, has she? How can you see?
Thank you. That's why some people think Stevie Wonder not blind, because he makes comments all the time, and people like,
you can see.
How are you blind?
Can you see shadows and stuff?
Because how would he know I'm gaining weight?
Thank you.
And he's blind.
And he didn't touch her or nothing.
No. No. Is it in my voice? Is my voice deeper because I've gained more weight? He makes me sick. That's my dad. But anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
So they not playing dodgeball.
Okay.
It's like
I
soccer.
get it now. I get it. Okay.
So they get down on the ground and they push the ball, and the ball has a ring in it.
You can hear the bell.
You can hear the bell. So that's how you keep it from going in the net. You're trying to get the ball.
You hear that sound.
So they realized how horrible they were at it, and it kind of made them realize how Jason views his world is in darkness. Yeah. So you move a little different.
And he's good at the game.
And he's good at it.
Competitive.
So it also shows you that when you have something like that, you can overcome a lot of obstacles because you learn how to do things differently.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that was nice.
That was good that the family did it.
And they did it because,
of course,
they did it because of the show.
Black girl's situation. She has to wear blindfolds. Oh, my eyelashes!
Oh yeah, and her hair.
I gotta take my eyelashes off.
And she didn't want to mess up her weave and all that.
Really?
But anyway, they all enjoyed it.
You owe me some eyelashes. I have to take them off.
They all enjoyed it. So then Jamie sits down with Jason after the game and they talk. Yeah. So then he tells him that he's gonna support him in wanting to go to this program, but he says he just worries about his kid, whether they visually impaired or not. Right. As a parent, you worry about your kid, so you want to make sure that he has the best life that he can. Right. So that was a little nice part of Jamie. Even though we was getting sick of Jamie, that was like they was trying to show he does have a heart.
Side of him.
Yeah. The producers came together and did that. They was like, we got to show some. We got to show it
because otherwise he looks like a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast, Dallas. He's a beast.
Honeymooners.
The honeymooners.
Y'all watch the honeymooners?
Yeah,
I love the honeymooners.
All right, we're going down a rabbit hole.
You a rap cram.
Yeah, a rabbit hole.
And I'm Norton.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Okay, so
okay.
Now we go to Irena comes back and gathers the family, and she says, I wanted to open, I got this a few days ago, but I want to open it in front of everybody. Ooh, and it's and she has Jason open it, and it says, Jason, you have been accepted into the Doors program.
That's what he was waiting
on. And they
on.
all was so happy.
Jason was
he was excited, he was happy. They was like, go Jason, go Jason, and we all excited. Yeah. And then he does in his diary, he says, I finally feel like I can get out of my parents' house. Because they go and live on campus, I think.
And they teach them.
They teach people who have visually impaired how to live a normal life, how to have your own apartment, how to do your own cook and
what did he say?
I
love my family, but
he said, I love my family, but I'm ready to go. He said, maybe now I can get a girlfriend. So it was nice. You
His
rooting
brother
for
was
Jason.
trying to say for the last episode, being a DJ, you pick up girl women. And he was like, okay. I'm
So that
not
was
be no
nice.
DJ.
That was a nice little family
Okay,
moment.
That was good.
Now we move on to Ashley. Ashley has a fun time mom event.
Yeah.
I
her
thought that was
partner.
a very cute idea for an event.
The different setups for doing selfies.
This is an idea for you guys if you want to throw a party. She had
Different stations.
She had different stations set up
with different
for
backgrounds
selfies.
to do selfies.
And it was backdrops and different things like
One
that.
was a swing.
And it was
one
a selfie
chair.
party. It was a selfie party.
A selfie party.
That was cute. And the women seemed to like it.
Yeah,
So-
they sat on the different scenes. And
So that's if anybody thinking of a party idea, that was a cute
creative.
little party
That was
idea.
creative.
She had one that had plants, so it was like a jungle,
yeah,
and then one like
with
a
that red, beautiful plush chair.
yeah,
You
one
can
with
lay
a
back
plush
like you're
chair,
rich.
and then one just different backgrounds,
Yeah,
and different
I
stations.
never would have thought of that.
And you can go to different stations and have fun taking selfies and
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
So
But
that's
there was
kind of
there was what to raise money
for something for this mom's
business that
selfie
she has,
thing.
her and her partner.
Okay, so now, I thought it was a cute idea. So now Mo comes in, Monique, and she says, "Can I sit down with you and Irena to
Now,
Ashley?"
keep in mind, Mo had a conversation
with
with
Winter. And Winter told her that they was mean girls and they
her side of the story.
yeah, that they double teamed on her.
So
So
Monique-
Monique wants to get to the bottom of it, and she sits down with Ashley and Irena, and she says, "Well, I had a very interesting conversation with Winter, and she told me basically that y'all was mean girls, and that y'all came at her, you ambushed her, double teamed her. Irena, you switched both sides, and Ashley, you was all up in her talking about her husband and all this
So
other
Mo
stuff.
was actually being messy.
Mo was being messy. And then she said, and for you, just so you know, Ashley, Winter says she heard some stuff about DJ Quick. And
She
Ashley
didn't
went,
say fun size.
and when she said that, Ashley's whole tune changed. Remember, she
demeanor.
said she don't play when it come to her husband.
Yeah.
And she said, what she hear about my husband? And she said, well, I don't know. I just know that she said that it's rumors
There's rumors
around
about him and
Irena's husband and all this other stuff. So they both was mad then. They both was
Irena
yelling.
was upset when she said she was playing both sides. She takes both sides. Irena I thought we was trying to get to know each other. Where did this come from?
So they was mad.
Yeah.
And
Ashley
said,
was really mad.
Ashley was mad because she said, she don't have any business talking about my husband. We talk about her husband because she brings it up.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
her
I'll go
husband
come
Kenny?
back to this later.
What's her husband name? Kenny?
Kenny or Kevin or something. I don't know.
They say it all. She's always talking about him.
That show you he's a non-factor to me because I don't even remember his
It
name.
begins with a K, though.
But anyway, so then right when it goes off, you know the producers did this.
Yeah.
Winter
Yeah.
comes in. They probably held
she was
Winter.
invited. I'm surprised she came.
They probably held Winter. See, it's producing.
Come in now.
Like, right when they yelling and getting ready to go off on you,
Ta-da.
this is the time for you to enter into
Enter
the
in,
party.
Winter.
So she comes
What am I
in.
coming to?
Exactly. She walks in and they talking about her.
What did she say? Ghetto Galaxy or something?
Well,
What did she say? What the ghetto?
Yeah, what the ghetto
She
something
comes
is
up with
this?
these little funny terms. I gotta start writing them
So
down.
then, yeah, start writing them down
Yeah,
because I'm not
that's
thinking
pretty
about
cute.
it.
Pretty
So then
cute.
she says, I walk in and they talking about me or whatever. So then
I'm
Mo,
ambushed again.
so Mo says, okay, sit down. I'll tell you what's going on. And Mo didn't even have to say nothing. Ashley jumped right in and
Right
said,
in.
why are
What's
you
going
saying,
on?
why are you talking about my husband and about we mean girls and we ambushed you?
DJ FUNSIZE.
She said,
They would have been fighting.
yeah. Well, Ashley from Baltimore. Remember, that's what Irena said.
Oh, really?
She from Baltimore. She'll beat you down.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. So because Winter's like, this ghetto stuff, I'm not into this. This ratchet show. And Irena's like, well, Ashley from Baltimore, so she don't care. She'll beat you down if she have to.
Okay.
But anyway, so then
You
go
always
after her.
hear some of these different shows, they talking about where they come from, like that's supposed to be making them bad. Because Drew would say, I'm from Chicago and I kick her. And I'm sitting there going, does it matter where you from?
You know why?
You can be from the hick town of some southern city nobody ever heard of and still come and go boom, boom to everybody.
You know why I think people say that? Because we say that too sometimes.
We
We
do?
say we near Chicago. We come from the suburbs of Chicago or whatever. Because when you go to other places sometimes, I lived in Chicago. And when I lived in Chicago, when you catching the bus and stuff, you do have a different demeanor. Like, people can't just push you and all that. You be like, who you know, you have a little bit more of an attitude, you know, because you're in the city.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Little
yeah, versus a suburb, you know?
And you don't look like you some...
And usually we live here in the suburb. We grew up here. You can tell people that come from the city that move out here. They sharper with their tongue. They speak more sharp.
We're not trying to be...
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
y'all.
We just chilling out here, man.
Everybody cool and whatever.
Right. So it does.
It happened with our church.
Well, you going down a rabbit hole.
But still, go ahead.
All right, so here we go.
We don't know nothing.
Rabbit hole.
Spiritual.
Rabbit hole.
The city folks was coming trying to tell us how to love God and the gifts of the Spirit. We like, what? We know God just as much as y'all do. Go ahead.
You done?
Yeah.
I don't want to seem like I'm over talking you.
Okay.
Even though you would bring this thing to a dead end.
Okay, go
and
ahead.
people would tune out. But I'm letting her talk because y'all wanted to talk. So I'm letting her talk.
When we talk about certain things, it's just triggers. You know. But go ahead.
All right.
So she's from Baltimore. So
That's
she's
why I
supposed
said
to
it's a
be-
balance. Because there's a part when I'm not. Because if it's going down a rabbit hole, I'm not.
You'll pull me out?
Yes, whether they
Okay.
want me to let you talk or not.
If you go down the rabbit hole, can I pull
I do.
you out?
You can pull me out.
Okay.
You can pull me out. If it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
You want your
Can't stand you. All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
So they arguing back and forth.
Okay.
Irana's like, Ashley's like, don't talk, you know, what do you got to say about my husband and
She's
all this
right
stuff?
about that,
and
though. Why
you
is
need to leave us out your
Why
mouth.
is Winter
and,
even talking about their
and
husband?
Winter's like, because you talked about my husband. And Ashley's like, that's because you talk about your husband. When do you ever hear us talk about our husbands for you to bring them in?
Yeah.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Okay.
When Winter was saying, I can talk about your husbands because y'all talk about mine, that's not the same. Because Winter talks about her husband.
And they just join in.
Exactly. So if here's we always try to do life lessons on these things.
Yeah.
If you don't want somebody to talk about your family or talk about anything about
Any
you,
topic is
don't bring it up.
It's off limits.
Don't bring it up. If you don't want somebody to talk about you and your family, don't you bring it up and then get mad when people talk about
That's
it.
the same when you're meeting somebody, even when you're dating somebody. If you're asking them a question, expect that question to come back to you. Right?
Exactly. Well, true. That's true.
We're going to talk about, I'm opening it up. That means that we both can talk and share.
Yep.
But you're right. She does talk about her husband.
So they get mad. They start yelling at each other. Ashley stands up. She's kind of standing over Winter like she's going to punch her in the face. And Winter's like, oh, my God, this is so ratchet.
And
This
Mo
is
is
horrible.
like, okay,
and
what
Monica's
have I
like, I made this
started?
worse.
I started
Which
this.
we know she did.
They
She acted
probably
like
told
she,
her to.
she
They
acted
probably
like
told
she
her
didn't
to.
know.
Yeah.
She knew she made it worse.
Yeah.
So
then,
then
the way she even came at them about let me know what happened.
and
in this whole
then Winter
situation.
did what I said, what Monique does
What?
about being a black Trump. She said, I didn't want to come to this party anyway. Remember I told you Monique does stuff like that. I should have worn I didn't want to come to this party anyway. And then Ashley said, then why did you come? You could get the hell up out of here.
Yes,
well, she said, F up out of here.
Cussing at her to get
And she said, get up. You can get up. And then it was just ratchet. And Ashley's
she was
friend,
real loud.
Ashley's friend came and said, we got guests here.
Irena was hollering louder.
I know.
For them to be quiet. And I'm sitting there going, y'all all loud.
But they
in
was,
that corner.
They was doing it because it was on the camera.
It reminded me of the Housewives of Atlanta,
Atlanta
when they fussed at the table.
But you have to do that because you have to have those moments that make people who want to watch the show.
Yeah.
So the producers was probably egging it on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you need some heated
yeah,
moments.
y'all need to do something because y'all boring.
Drama.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where that came from.
Okay.
And Ashley was the only one giving it to him from Baltimore.
That's true.
So that
you was
basically
ready to beat her down.
And so most of
what
them
rumor you got on my husband?
Right.
And then Irena's husband. Hey, she got all the tea on them. I wonder we probably know already, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then Mo was like, let me get Winter up out of here because if I don't get her up out of here, Ashley gonna beat her down to the ground.
Yeah.
So then, and it's funny as Monique doing it when she the fighter on Potomac Housewives.
Housewives of Potomac.
She was the one fighting.
She was gonna kick.
She the peacemaker now.
Ain't that funny?
I know.
Maybe she's learned from that. 'Cause she had some kumbaya moments. And she talked with her pastor, people at her church.
Right.
She's in a better place now.
So then they go into that whole thing. They get the blank out. Winter says that she's too cute for this to fight and for this ratchet stuff. Now we move to Mo says she made it worse. Yeah. And said, but it was by accident. She didn't do it on purpose. But
what?
that she made this whole situation worse.
Yeah, you mean the future upcoming show?
Yeah.
When they
so
sat
now
at the
we
table
go
together to try to bring.
Yeah. So now we go to
make
Jamie and Irena, and they look at this property that they have in horrible condition.
Messed up.
Can I ask you a question?
Like poop, he said inside.
They are the people we was talking about. Remember when we was talking about driving around and people had these properties and they don't keep them up?
They don't keep them up.
They're one of those people.
Slumlords.
They're slumlords. Nobody picked up on that.
You know what?
For you to let a house get like that and you own the property?
I told him. I
don't like that.
I'm old school. When I was watching the old Golden Girls show with Dorothy and her ex-husband, whatever his name is, they own property together. And when they separated and the divorce, she forgot about that property, but they didn't keep it up.
See?
They were slumlords. Do you know what the judge told them they had to do? They had to stay in that apartment for a week.
Can you imagine?
As a slumlord, they had to live in the condition of the place that they allowed their tenants to live.
Can you imagine if
idea.
Irena and Jamie had to live in that spot?
That's not a bad idea.
Oh,
when
my
you not
goodness.
learn to keep your property up and stay on top of your tenants.
So they showed up to this property. They met their business managers there,
yes.
business associates there, and they were already in a moment where they didn't like each other. They was angry at each other because the night before something had happened. We'll get to that.
Yep.
Okay, so they walk in there already with an attitude, and he trying to tell her what to do, and she trying to tell him what to do. And then she's saying, well, you need to come by and check on this place more. And he said, well, you need to come. She said, I already come by and check on it. You need to come by.
That's
They're
the whole
arguing.
Dorothy thing with her husband.
And the business associates was just kind of like, oh boy, we're in the middle of this, a couple debating. Well, they told him it was
doing this really.
They told him it was going to take $110,000 to renovate the place. And so
that's a lot of money.
The tensions build,
and it wouldn't have gotten much. It wouldn't have been that much had the people destroyed some stuff. Inside the house.
The people who moved out really messed their house up. And plus, I think what is it? People that come and live in there.
Oh,
whatever. Squatters. Squatters are using that building. They using the washroom and the rooms and pooping and all of that. Remember,
means that you're not coming by often.
You're not coming by often. And imagine the people got to live next door to that. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't like that. And you know it's not a good neighborhood.
If anybody listening to us, if you own property.
And here's the other thing.
Please
it's not a good
neighborhood.
Because Jamie said, I don't come to this type of neighborhood that often.
Why you going to own property in that neighborhood?
And not take care of the property.
And not take care of it.
I don't like that.
Or pay somebody to take care of it.
Thank you. All right, so that that drives me crazy. So then they leave, they go outside, and then this one we finally hear why they upset with each other and showed up. So apparently the night before, Irena left that women's party that she was with Ashley, arguing with Winter,
and hearing them hollering,
and she comes to a club event that her husband is throwing. It's a birthday party for her friend, and she shows up. And then Jamie comes outside
with a drink in his hand.
She said,
he's been drinking.
And he starts yelling at her. She said,
loud.
He said, I was yelling at you because I came outside and you started pulling off. And she said, I wasn't pulling off. I was trying to pull closer.
The middle of the road.
She said, I was trying to pull closer so when I get out, I had on heels, so I wouldn't be out in the road or something like that.
Right.
So then he said, well, it looked like you was just pulling off. She said, it didn't matter what it looked like. She said, you was yelling at me. Did you notice?
What?
She was mad, not the fact he was yelling at her. She was mad at that he was yelling at her and it was people outside.
She was embarrassed.
He made her look stupid.
Yeah.
So Irena don't mind if you yell at her.
Right.
Just don't do it in front of nobody.
Do this in private.
Exactly.
Get in the car, our windows be muffled. You don't.
And that's why he didn't understand. Because he's like, I talk like this all the time.
People don't understand that.
But he said,
I'm yelling at your spouse in public.
Right. But I'm saying he didn't understand because if you allow me to yell at you all the time, why do you care?
Where?
It's in front of anybody.
Wherever it happens.
And he didn't think he was being disrespectful. Yeah. She kept saying you were being disrespectful.
The very fact that you raise your voice at your spouse.
Yes.
That's disrespect.
He said,
you don't have to yell. They're right in front of you.
He
said,
can
just talk the normal talk, no matter how angry you are, unless you need to go away and maybe count to 100 and come back and talk like an adult.
He said he was mad at her because he had a whole bunch of stuff going on in the party. And then he said also coming out there, you was late. And she said, well, that's because I came from another event. He said, well, you shouldn't have booked 2 events in the same night. All this other stuff. But anyway,
no reason to yell.
She ended up leaving, and she said she started crying and saying, you made me miss my best friend's
he said, don't bring
birthday
those
party.
Fake tears or something.
Yeah, he said, don't start with the
want
tears.
The crocodile tears.
Yeah, he was saying, you don't.
She was really hurt.
Yeah. And so after that, he said, well, I apologize or whatever.
You notice how her tears was different, her crying and how he responded is different than when Chris and Mo cried.
When Monique was crying, Chris was so compassionate, and he was like,
she was on the floor, sitting on the floor,
and he picked her up.
I said, oh, that's so sweet that he can pick his wife up. Not all people can pick their wives up from the floor. He picked her up and he held her.
You're stupid.
There are some couples that cannot pick their wife.
My husband wouldn't have been able to pick me up. So I ain't gonna even.
You're right. He'll just pat you on the head while you're on the floor. It's all right, baby.
But he would always,
right.
You know what though? I wasn't the size I am now, but he would always say I could pick you up, and he would try. He could too.
I don't know if that's a male thing.
He actually could. He actually
pick my wife up.
Men are stronger. He actually could pick me up.
He was tall too.
Yeah.
So okay.
So anyway,
go ahead.
So whatever.
Rabbit hole.
The different. You went a rabbit hole.
I'm sorry, I had to say that because they both were crying, and the husbands responded differently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
So again, he didn't think that yelling was being disrespectful. He said he was sorry, and then Irena came back and said, "You notice we don't get mad. We don't stay mad at each other."
Right. They just had a little moment. And then they go eat dinner. Hey, babe, where we going to go to after this? But then you don't know how much of this is TV. How much of this is the show?
That was the end of the show.
No, I'm saying as far as them.
No, that was the end of this episode.
How much do they really fight like that? And then they just go on by their business.
But that was the end of this episode.
What do you mean the end of this episode?
That was it. That was the last scene.
They showed the preview.
They didn't show the previews of what was coming up. You remember that?
Yeah, they showed, I think Mo was trying to have the ladies meet again, at just Ashley and Winter to sit. And you could tell they were sitting at a table just talking, getting ready to talk about that incident.
And Mo said it was her problem, her fault.
And they started at each other again. So I don't know what it is and then you don't know how much of this is the producers pushing this.
Exactly.
You know, seriously, they can talk that a little bit better than that.
Right.
But yeah, you're right.
So that was Love and Marriage D.C. Season 1, Episode 5. That was it. That wasn't that much to it. So we probably added more to it than what the actual episode had.
Well, because we had insight on what, these couples are going through. Okay. And just listening I just hope Winter get herself together. I think they put her in there to be shady.
Right.
To throw, the crap that she's throwing their way. Yeah. Because if it was just the 3 couples.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen next week. And it don't seem like nothing. See, they're trying to drum up something.
Oh, they're going to the therapist. All of them together are going to
visit you're right. That's good. That's going to be good. Because Jamie gets into an argument with the therapist. Yes. She said, I'm sensing a bullness here.
A bulldog.
Bulldog. He gets in a fight with the therapist. And they there for therapy. The therapist can't even deal with him. That's what I'm saying. Nobody can deal with him. Yeah, Irena is a saint.
The therapist is like...
Irena is a white lady, too. A room full of black people and a white lady.
They got the wrong therapist for them. They need somebody. They need the same therapist that's helping what's the Housewives of Atlanta?
That black guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need him.
Why would they bring... You know what? The producers did it. Again. Why would you? Because DJ quit that. The preview showed he goes to the doctor, and the doctor said that he may not be able to use his hands anymore.
Oh, his hands is his
and
life.
He's a DJ. Ooh. So yeah, that's a good one. So maybe that's the stuff coming up that's going to be,
And then sometimes it takes those situations to happen that brings couples closer.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. So that was it with Love and Marriage DC. And that was another Woods Report. See y'all next week.